Then we're going to talk about the new ability cards are receiving that will morph the impact of Attack on Titan Origins of Power into the way the game is played. Attack on Titan Battle for Humanity came in with these brand new abilities of Shift and Blitz that were designed to show the game could be played in a completely different way, and it has done that to an extent. And whatever your opinions on Shift and Blitz are, they have added a different aspect to the game, whether positively or negatively. Now we have gone even deeper. Now the game is being shaken up in a way that nobody was expecting, but some people have been asking for a while. We are now able to outwit our opponents. Not only do you have to worry about what your opponent has in hand for those action traps, not only do you have to worry about their face-up foundations and assets, but now you have to worry about their face-down foundations. That's right. Outwit is a brand new ability that can only be played from a face-down position. So these will only be responses. When the response condition is met, you will unflip, commit the foundation, and then proceed with the ability. So for example, what we have on here with Buying Time. Buying Time is a 2-diff, 5 control, 4 mid-block, response outwit, so must be face down and ready. After your rival plays an attack, look at the top card of your deck. You may discard 1 card. If you do, build the top card of your deck face down. This means that your opponent plays an attack, you go, cool, outwit, I'll unflip, commit, then go, I'm going to look at top card of my deck. It's a free check. Cool, I'm going to block this. I'm going to build it down ready. So you don't go down any resources. You take a check off the top of your deck you weren't looking for, and you get to replace the resource you lost through the outwit. On order, this is a very powerful ability for characters like Krista and Erwin who care about sacking foundations, who care about discarding cards. This is very, very cool. And as we can see with Armin, the ability to just play cards face down is very, very powerful. Characters like Faye, Spike, Cementos, Overhaul, all these characters that got value taken away from them through Ruin are now getting a complete revitalization of life because of this new Outwit ability. Ruin basically says if you have face downs, I can make you sack them. Outwit goes, cool, I can unflip them though. So I can flip them for my abilities, unflip them to responses, and I can sit there with Spike and draw a bunch of cards. I can give you a bunch of minus damages with Faye. If Faye had order, this would be so cool because I can just go flip it in my turn, get 2 damage in your turn, unflip it, ready, commit it, build 1 face down, and then I can always just use Faye to flip it again for minus 2 damage on your attack. It's so very cool. And I think if we see this equally represented among all the 6 symbols of Attack on Titan Battle for Humanity, this is going to be more impactful than Deflect. This is going to be more impactful than Blitz. And this is probably going to be on par with Ruin. This is probably better for the game than Ruin as well. Ruin was a big issue when Rhino was broken. Just rewards you for flipping foundations. This gives you so many characters that lost a lot of steam, that were just chucked to one side because Ruin was a thing and Attack on Titan just hated face down foundations. And now being able to kind of hop off with these amazing abilities from face downs that your opponent has just not going to be able to take into account. They're like mini actions, they're little traps. The biggest thing they've been acquainted to is Morph from MTG and trap cards from Yu-Gi-Oh! Because that is what they are. It's one of the things that we're going to see a lot of references. This set has just been very memeable to begin with, but just sitting there going, you play an attack, not so fast. You activated my trap card. For me, it more feels like the JoJo scene from when he's taking on the Stone Men, and it's just a case of, your next line is going to be, and you say like, I knew you were going to do that. I have a card ready for you. I outwitted you. And that is the whole point of it. So I outwit. You were prepared for what your opponent was trying to do, and you outwitted them. I think that's such cool naming. And for a military battle sort of manga, using outwit is so powerful because you're just trying to outwit your opponent's tactics. You're trying to outwit your opponent's strategies. And that is what we're doing in this game. It is a great translation of the IP. And being able to reutilize these new characters that utilize flip for their effects and unflip them for responses is going to create amazing interactions. One of the things I loved about this game, and it's still on the website, is that it has the best interactions between cards and being able to flip cards down and go, you know what this is, but will you remember it? It's taking into account mental load. It's manipulating mental load, and it's basically saying we are going to have a fun interactive game where even if I cannot do anything, you don't know that. And that is so cool. I know Tim Keith hates enhanced chicken. Bluffing should be part of the game. And if I can just sit there and go, okay, I just need to check my face downs for a second, and go, yeah, cool. Not wasting time. Just sit there and go, I just need to check my face downs before your turn starts so I just know what abilities I have ready to go. Even if you haven't got anything, if you've built any card off the top of your deck, your opponent's immediately put on high alert. It's one of those things that when you see your opponent drop a symbol, you go, cool, I need to be prepared for these cards. And the moment you even hint you have Outwit, your opponent needs to be prepared for that. And it adds a whole new layer to what your opponent needs to be prepared for. And characters like Armin, Overhaul, Kirishima 2 are going to absolutely run away with Outwit, especially with characters that can play buying time, that can utilize these extra abilities. If set 1 of Attack on Titan, the Battle for Humanity, was an aggressive punch him in the face deck, this deck seems to be giving the humans a lot more control aspect. We are regaining control of our walls, we're regaining control of this fight. We are taking the fight to the Titans, and we are expanding our arsenal, and we are basically showing you that we can fight the Titans hand to hand. We can fight the Titans one-on-one, and we are going to take the fight to them. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the human side of it get a lot more powerful, if we see the human side, the control side, take a little bit more over, and it shifts more towards a slower aspect of game, utilizing all three. It's again that translation, that aspect of the game that I absolutely love at the minute, where the design team are faithfully adapting IPs in such a dramatic fashion. But what do you think about Outwit? Do you think that the commit should be a cost? And I would love to see some tenacious Outwits just for the extra bit of flavor, but I do think that might be a bit too powerful with characters like Spike and Faye, who can just keep utilizing that Outwit. And we might start to see an uptick of the anti-unflip cards. There are cards out there that do punish your opponent for unflipping foundations. There are so many characters that are going to pop off. I mentioned a couple, but Big Cat absolutely loves this strategy. I am so excited to see how this is going to go and how Ruin versus Outwit will end up. Because Ruin versus Outwit is now the big battle of this set, especially in Spotlight. If you're not already aware, pre-releases start November 1st. Head over to play.uvs, look for your local store, get involved. The battle for humanity has started. It is now time to find the origins of power for our decks and take the fight back to the Titans. Let me know what you're most excited for in the comments below and what you think the next steps of this set will be. I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye.